Have you ever wondered if every relationship in your life is truly meant to last forever? Sometimes we hold on to relationships because they feel familiar, because of shared history, or simply out of fear of losing something we believe is important. But over time, you may come to realize that not every connection is worth holding on to. Letting go isn't a failure, it's a form of liberation. Life is a long journey filled with changes. As you grow, your perspectives shift, and so do the people around you. What once brought you joy might now feel like a burden. The key realization is this: protecting your peace, happiness, and mental well-being often requires the courage to let go. Looking back, you might realize that not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever. Some relationships, whether with family members or longtime friends, may no longer add positive value. Instead of feeling guilty about letting go, ask yourself, what am I holding on to? If the answer is habit, obligation, or fear, it may be time to reconsider. Letting go is not an act of selfishness, it's an act of self-respect. It allows you to focus on relationships that truly bring love, understanding, and mutual respect. Sometimes stepping away from someone doesn't just help you rediscover yourself, it also gives them the freedom to live their life in the way they need. 1. They don't respect your feelings, why it matters, and what to do. Emotions are the bridge that connects us to the world and to each other. When you share your feelings, you're inviting someone into your inner world, offering a glimpse of your authentic self. But what happens when those feelings are brushed aside, dismissed, or ignored? When someone doesn't respect your feelings, they don't just hurt you, they undermine the foundation of trust and intimacy in the relationship. Imagine opening up to someone about your deepest sadness, a moment of triumph, or an important life event, only to be met with a shrug, a dismissive comment like "don't overthink it," or even silence. At first, you might excuse it, thinking they didn't mean to dismiss you. But over time, as it happens repeatedly, doubts creep in. Are my feelings not important? Does this person truly care about me? Is this relationship worth my emotional investment? Disrespect for your feelings often stems from indifference, a lack of empathy, or a failure to appreciate the significance of truly listening. While they may think they're being reassuring, their dismissive words only deepen your isolation. Over time, this behavior doesn't just hurt, it makes you hesitant to open up to others, creating emotional walls that distance you from meaningful connections. At this stage in life, you deserve to be seen, heard, and valued. Your feelings are a reflection of your journey, your experiences, and the lessons you've learned along the way. Those who truly care for you will honor your emotions. They'll listen attentively, share your burdens, and celebrate your joys. They won't dismiss your pain or diminish your triumphs. Instead, they'll make you feel that your emotions matter not just to you, but to them as well. So, what can you do when you realize someone doesn't respect your feelings? Begin by having an honest conversation. Share your concerns openly and observe their response. If they acknowledge your feelings and make a genuine effort to change, there's hope for the relationship. But if they continue to disregard your emotions, justify their actions, or make no effort to improve, it may be time to take a step back. Letting go isn't about punishing them, it's about protecting your own peace of mind. It's important to remember that you're not obligated to keep people in your life who don't respect your feelings, whether they're family, longtime friends, or anyone else. Respect, understanding, and empathy are the pillars of any healthy relationship. Without these, the relationship will drain your energy, chip away at your confidence, and diminish your self-worth. You deserve to be surrounded by people who cherish your emotions and recognize your value. Choose relationships that uplift you, honor your journey, and make you feel loved for who you truly are, heart, soul, and all. 2. They bring conflict into your life, protecting your peace and prioritizing yourself. Life is already full of challenges and uncertainties. Amid the chaos, everyone needs a sanctuary, a peaceful space to recharge in relationships that uplift, not weigh you down. Yet some people seem to carry conflict with them wherever they go, like an unending storm. Whether they are friends, co-workers, or even family, their presence can feel like a shadow over the light you're striving to cultivate. These individuals don't just argue or disagree. They amplify minor issues, turning simple misunderstandings into prolonged battles. They may constantly argue over trivial matters, hold on to grudges long past their expiration date, or drag you into disputes that have nothing to do with you. Interacting with them often feels like being caught In a whirlwind of negativity, a cycle where conflict and discord dominate every interaction. Not all conflict is bad. Constructive disagreements can deepen understanding and strengthen relationships. However, the conflicts brought by these individuals are rarely productive. They are often about asserting dominance, proving their rightness, or venting personal frustrations. Instead of fostering growth, they leave you feeling drained, trapped, and emotionally exhausted. You've worked hard to build peace and stability in your life. It wasn't easy. It required overcoming obstacles, learning to manage problems with grace, and cultivating a sense of inner calm. But when you are surrounded by people who thrive on stirring up conflict, they threaten to undo all that you've achieved. They rob you of your time, drain your emotional reserves, and leave you questioning your worth or decisions. So, how do you handle these relationships? Start by setting clear boundaries. Communicate openly and let them know you do not wish to engage in unnecessary conflict. If they respect your boundaries, the relationship may still have hope. However, if they continue to disrupt your peace despite your efforts, it's time to step back or even let go entirely. Walking away from conflict-filled relationships is not a failure. It's a choice to prioritize your mental health and emotional well-being. Life is too short to be spent in endless battles. Save your energy for people who bring joy, respect, and encouragement into your life. Surround yourself with those who value and support you. Remember, you have the power to choose the relationships that remain in your life. If someone consistently brings conflict and instability, letting them go is not an act of judgment, it's an act of self-respect. You deserve to live a meaningful, peaceful life surrounded by people who uplift you, not drain you. Protecting your peace is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. 3. They take advantage of your generosity, protecting your kindness without losing yourself. Generosity is one of the most admirable qualities a person can possess. When you give to others, whether it's your time, energy, or resources, you're sharing more than just tangible things. You're offering care, compassion, and love. But not everyone values kindness as they should. Some people, rather than being grateful, take your generosity for granted, or worse, exploit it. When this happens, what once brought joy and connection can turn into a source of pain and emotional exhaustion. You've likely encountered people who only reach out when they need something. They call when they're in trouble, text when they need a favor, or appear when they want a loan. But when you're the one who needs support, even something as simple as a kind word or acknowledgement, they're nowhere to be found. Their excuses are endless. They're too busy, they're dealing with something, or they just can't right now. Yet somehow, they always find the time and resources for the things that matter to them. These individuals don't just drain your material resources, they also deplete your emotional energy. Over time, you may begin to feel unappreciated, even used. You might start to ask yourself, do they truly care about me? Or am I only valued for what I can provide? This imbalance in the relationship can make you question the very nature of your generosity. By now, you've lived long enough to understand that true relationships are a balance of giving and receiving. Your kindness deserves to be valued, and you deserve relationships that bring mutual respect and reciprocity, not ones where your generosity is exploited. Saying no doesn't make you selfish or unkind. It's an act of self-respect, a way of setting boundaries to protect your worth. If you recognize that someone in your life consistently takes without giving, it's time to reassess the relationship. This doesn't mean you should stop being generous. It means being selective about where you invest your kindness. Reserve your time and energy for those who genuinely care for you, those who will not only appreciate your generosity, but also be there when you need them. Setting boundaries is an essential part of maintaining your well-being. Learn to say no without guilt, knowing that true kindness is not an obligation others can exploit. Devote your generosity to those who value it and reciprocate it with love, respect, and genuine care. Letting go of people who take advantage of your kindness isn't an act of selfishness. It's a way to honor yourself and create space for meaningful, balanced relationships. Your time and energy are precious, and you have the right to choose how and with whom to share them. Remember, your generosity is a gift, not something anyone is entitled to. You've reached a point in life where you understand the power of saying no to preserve your peace, happiness, and self-worth. Protecting your kindness isn't about changing who you are. It's about ensuring your generosity is truly cherished and never taken for granted. 4. They constantly complain without caring, reclaiming your emotional well-being. In life, sharing difficulties, sorrows, and frustrations is an essential way to build understanding and connection. When you listen to someone confide in you, you're offering more than just support. You're creating a space for them to feel valued, loved, and understood. But what happens when this sharing becomes one-sided, repetitive, and completely disregards your feelings? When someone constantly complains without caring about your emotions, the relationship shifts from a meaningful connection to an overwhelming burden. These individuals often monopolize conversations with their grievances, turning every interaction into a platform for their dissatisfaction. Whether the problem is minor or significant, they always find a way to unload negativity onto you. Initially, your empathy might lead you to listen and support them. But over time, as this pattern persists, and they show no concern for your feelings or challenges, you begin to feel emotionally drained, unseen, and even unimportant within the relationship. What makes it worse is their lack of reciprocity. They rarely, if ever, ask how you're doing or take an interest in your struggles. To them, you're merely a problem solver or an emotional dumping ground. They fail to recognize that you, like anyone else, have your own battles, worries, and moments of vulnerability that also need acknowledgement and care. This imbalance turns the relationship into an unfair dynamic, leaving you to shoulder the emotional weight alone. The longer you tolerate this behavior, the more devalued you may feel. Your own feelings, stories, and needs become invisible, as if they don't matter. This doesn't just wear you out, it slowly chips away at your self-confidence and sense of worth. Instead of feeling like a loved one or friend, you're left feeling like a tool for their emotional relief. So, what can you do? The first step is to establish boundaries. Express clearly that while you're willing to listen and support, it's important for the relationship to be balanced. Let them know that every conversation cannot revolve solely around complaints. If they genuinely care about you and value the relationship, they'll make an effort to adjust their behavior. But if they continue to disregard your feelings and maintain this pattern, it might be time to step back and create some distance. Letting go of people who constantly complain without caring about you isn't selfish, it's an act of self-preservation. Your mental and emotional well-being deserve protection, and you are entitled to relationships where your feelings are respected and your needs are acknowledged. Remember, a healthy relationship is built on mutual care and understanding. It's not your responsibility to carry the emotional weight of others without receiving any empathy in return. Those who truly value will know how to listen, share, and respect your emotions as much as you respect theirs. Don't let yourself remain stuck in one-sided relationships. Instead, focus your time and energy on people who bring joy, balance, and mutual support into your life. You deserve relationships that uplift you, not ones that drain you. Protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's essential. By surrounding yourself with people who value and cherish you, you create a life filled with genuine connection, happiness, and true emotional well-being. 5. They don't keep their promises. Why it matters and what you can do. Promises are more than just words, they are commitments that represent respect, trust, and reliability in a relationship. When someone makes a promise, they are essentially saying, I value you and I will honor what I said. However, when promises are repeatedly broken, it doesn't just bring disappointment, it undermines the very foundation of trust, the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. People who fail to keep their promises often have plenty of excuses. They forgot, they were busy, or circumstances were beyond their control. A single broken promise may be an honest mistake, but when it becomes a pattern, it sends a clear message. Your time, emotions, and expectations are not a priority to them. Every unkept promise doesn't just bring frustration, it chips away at the trust and respect you once had for them. Think about the impact of placing your hopes in a promise, only to see it go unfulfilled. It might be a meeting they didn't show up for, a helping hand they promised but didn't offer, or even a phone call they assured but never made. These broken promises don't just let you down, they make you feel overlooked and undervalued. When someone habitually breaks promises, they don't just hurt you with their inaction, they also force you to navigate difficult emotions like doubt, sadness, and mistrust. Over time, you may begin to question whether the relationship is even worth continuing. Are you willing to keep investing in someone who treats commitments lightly? Trust is hard to build and even harder to rebuild once broken. While someone might feel regretful and make amends for breaking a promise once, repeated actions without any effort to change show a deeper problem. It reveals a lack of respect for the relationship and disregard for your feelings. At this stage in life, you deserve relationships that are built on honesty and trustworthiness. Ask yourself, do I want to keep trusting someone who doesn't honor their word? Or should I focus on those who value their commitments and my time? Sometimes protecting your peace and self-worth requires making tough decisions. If someone consistently breaks their promises and shows no intent to change, letting go isn't an act of judgment, it's a way to prioritize yourself. You don't need to endure repeated disappointment or allow broken promises to erode your faith in others. You deserve relationships with people who don't just promise but act. Strong relationships are rooted in trust and respect, and it's fair for you to expect that from anyone you choose to keep in your life. Let broken promises serve as a reminder of the importance of valuing yourself and setting clear boundaries. Surround yourself with people whose words match their actions and who honor not just their promises, but also the trust you place in them. 6. They force their beliefs on you, protecting your individuality and freedom. Life is a vibrant mosaic where each person views the world through their own unique lens. Beliefs, whether political, religious, or personal, are deeply personal and shaped by our experiences, culture, and choices. However, when someone tries to impose their beliefs on you, regardless of your perspective, it doesn't just create tension, it undermines the mutual respect that is essential for any healthy relationship. People who force their beliefs often fail to see that they're not fostering understanding but crossing personal boundaries. What may begin as casual discussions quickly escalates into relentless lectures about how you should think, act, or live your life. They disregard your opinions, dismiss your values as invalid, and even attempt to reshape you to fit their worldview. This behavior doesn't just lead to frustration, it also creates a sense of pressure and loss of freedom in the relationship. Conversations become battlegrounds, filled with unnecessary arguments. Instead of feeling respected and understood, you're left defensive, constantly trying to protect your beliefs and values from their unwarranted criticism. Life isn't about determining who's right or wrong. The beauty of relationships lies in embracing differences and learning from each other's perspectives. This, however, requires mutual respect, something people who impose their beliefs often lack. Rather than fostering harmony, they turn relationships into power struggles, leaving little space for you to simply be yourself. At this stage in life, you've gained the wisdom and confidence to know who you are, what you believe, and how you want to live. You don't need to change yourself to appease anyone, especially those who disregard your individuality. A meaningful relationship should be a sanctuary where you feel accepted and valued, not a place where you must fight to preserve your identity. What can you do if someone continually imposes their beliefs on you? Start by expressing your feelings openly and honestly. Let them know you respect their opinions, but also expect the same respect for your own perspectives and beliefs. If they're willing to listen and adjust, the relationship can grow stronger. However, if they persist in imposing their views and refuse to accept differences, it may be time to consider creating distance. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care about them, it means prioritizing your intellectual and emotional freedom. Your life is your own, and no one has the right to reshape it to align with their viewpoint. Focus your energy on those who embrace differences and foster respectful, open dialogue. These are the relationships worth investing in. Remember, you don't have to fight to earn respect. Healthy relationships are those where you can be yourself, feel loved, and be valued regardless of your differences. Sometimes stepping away from those who continually impose their beliefs on you is the only way to affirm your self-worth and reclaim your peace of mind. Protecting your individuality isn't selfish, it's essential to living authentically and meaningfully. 7. They leave you feeling drained, recognizing and reclaiming your energy. One of the clearest signs of an unhealthy relationship is how it leaves you feeling after every interaction. Have you noticed that instead of feeling uplifted, happy, or energized after spending time with someone, you feel exhausted, stressed, or emotionally depleted? If this happens consistently, it's a strong indicator that the relationship is no longer serving you. People who leave you feeling drained often carry an aura of negativity. They may constantly complain, make demands, or center every conversation around themselves, disregarding your emotions. They might pull you into meaningless discussions, repeatedly revisit unresolved issues, or pressure you to meet their needs without offering any support in return. This isn't just a theft of your valuable time, it's a drain on your emotional and mental energy. At first, you may overlook it, driven by a desire to help or maintain the relationship. But over time, you start to feel disheartened and fatigued, losing the spark of joy in your daily life. You might find yourself wondering, why do I always feel so tired after being with this person? The answer lies in the imbalance of the relationship. A healthy relationship nurtures both individuals. It's a space where encouragement, support, and mutual growth thrive. When a relationship revolves around one person always taking while the other is endlessly giving, it becomes a burden. Not only are you weighed down by their emotional baggage, but you also begin to feel unseen, unappreciated, and undervalued. At this stage in your life, you've learned that your time and energy are precious. You no longer have to endure relationships that drain your spirit and weigh you down. The first step is to listen to your inner voice and identify the people who consistently leave you feeling exhausted. Recognizing this isn't selfish, it's a vital act of safeguarding your mental and emotional health. What can you do if someone in your life is leaving you feeling drained? Start by setting clear boundaries. Openly and honestly communicate how you feel and establish the limits you need. If they value the relationship, they will listen and make an effort to change. However, if they dismiss your concerns or continue their behavior, it may be time to create some distance or let the relationship go. Remember, you are not responsible for fixing everyone, especially at the cost of your well-being. Life is too short to spend on relationships that leave you empty and depleted. You deserve to share your time with people who uplift you, energize you, and bring joy into your life. Letting go of those who leave you feeling drained isn't a failure, it's an act of self-love. It's the gift of peace and freedom you give to yourself. Prioritize yourself. Dedicate your time and energy to relationships that bring balance, mutual support, and happiness. When you surround yourself with people who value and cherish you, your life will feel lighter, more fulfilling, and truly meaningful. You deserve relationships that enrich your life, not ones that drain it. Never settle for anything less. 8. They are stuck in a cycle of problems without growth. Breaking free for your own progress. Life is a continuous series of challenges and lessons. Every problem we face offers a chance to grow, adapt, and move forward. However, not everyone is willing to embrace these lessons. Some people remain stuck in repetitive cycles, encountering the same issues over and over without addressing them or learning from them. Being around such individuals doesn't just hold them back, it also traps you in their negative loop, draining your energy and stalling your progress. People caught in a cycle of problems often resist change. They might complain about difficulties in their work, relationships, or personal lives, yet take no action to improve the situation. They rehash the same stories of struggles, disappointments, and failures without seeking new perspectives or solutions. No matter how much advice or help you offer, nothing changes and the cycle perpetuates itself. At first, you may feel empathetic and genuinely want to help them overcome their struggles. But over time, you realize that your efforts lead nowhere. These individuals don't seek resolution, they seek endless sympathy or someone to validate their repetitive narratives. This not only drains you emotionally but also leaves you feeling powerless and trapped within the relationship. The most challenging aspect of being around people who resist growth is the toll it takes on your own journey. While you strive to overcome your challenges and move forward, their stagnant presence acts like an anchor, tethering you to the past. They demand your time, energy, and attention for problems they refuse to address, leaving you too exhausted to focus on your own goals and growth. So, what can you do if you recognize someone stuck in this pattern? Begin with an honest and compassionate conversation. Let them know you care and want to help, but emphasize that change has to start with them. If they are open to listening and willing to make an effort, the relationship can still grow. However, if they continue to resist taking responsibility and remain in their cycle, it may be time to set firm boundaries or even step away. Letting go of such relationships isn't about judgment, it's about self-preservation. You can't grow or move forward if someone is constantly holding you back with their unwillingness to change. Remember, you have every right to prioritize your peace and personal development. By stepping away from those who choose stagnation, you make space for relationships with people who value growth, support your journey, and respect your efforts. Surround yourself with people who bring balance, encouragement, and mutual progress. Life is too short to be caught in endless cycles of negativity and inaction. You deserve relationships that propel you forward, nurture your potential, and inspire your best self. Sometimes, the only way to truly move ahead is by letting go of those who refuse to grow. Choose progress over stagnation. Your future self will thank you. 9. They boast or act arrogantly, recognizing and protecting your self-worth. As you grow, you realize a profound truth. A person's true worth isn't found in their self-praise, but in how they treat others. Along the way, you've likely encountered people who constantly boast or act superior, as if the world revolves around them. This behavior not only irritates but also diminishes the depth of relationships, leaving little room for empathy or mutual respect. Boastful individuals tend to dominate conversations with stories of their achievements, whether real or exaggerated, always seeking the spotlight. They inflate their accomplishments, belittle others, and turn every interaction into a stage for themselves. Instead of listening, they wait for their turn to talk about themselves, showing little to no interest in your thoughts, feelings, or experiences. This dynamic creates an imbalance in the relationship. You may feel overshadowed or unimportant, as if your stories, successes, or emotions will never measure up to theirs. Even when you share your achievements or joys, they might quickly shift the focus back to themselves, trying to outdo you with something grander, whether it's real or imagined. At its core, boasting and arrogance often stem from insecurity. These individuals may feel compelled to prove their worth by constantly highlighting their positives, sometimes at the expense of others. But no matter the reason, you're not obligated to tolerate this behavior, especially if it leaves you feeling devalued or hurt. A healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and balance. It's a space where both people feel valued, heard, and appreciated. However, with boastful or arrogant individuals, the relationship often becomes one-sided. They dominate conversations, leaving little room for your voice or feelings. Over time, this doesn't just drain you, it can make you feel isolated, as though your worth is diminished in their shadow. What can you do if you're in a relationship with someone like this? Start by expressing your feelings honestly. Let them know you'd like the relationship to be more balanced, where both sides have the opportunity to share and feel valued. If they genuinely care about you, they will recognize the issue and make an effort to change. However, if they dismiss your concerns or continue their behavior, it may be time to create some distance. Letting go of boastful or arrogant individuals isn't selfish, it's an act of self-preservation. Life is too short to spend proving your worth to someone who's constantly competing. You deserve relationships where both parties feel equal, respected, and cherished. Choose relationships with people who don't need to boast to prove their value. The worth of truly kind individuals lies in how they make you feel, not in how much they achieve or say they've achieved. They'll listen to you, walk beside you, and share meaningful moments without the need to overshadow you. These are the relationships that bring joy, peace, and fulfillment into your life. Life is a journey shaped by the people who walk it with you. Some relationships bring joy, empathy, and understanding, while others leave you feeling drained, diminished, or hurt. Recognizing the difference isn't a failure, it's a sign of growth and self-awareness. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve you isn't selfish, it's an act of self-love. It's choosing to prioritize your mental health, peace, and happiness. By investing your time in meaningful relationships and releasing those that bring negativity, you're creating space for a more fulfilling life. Remember, saying no to toxic relationships doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you're learning to care for yourself more. You deserve companions who value and support you, those who encourage you to grow and help create meaningful memories. Life isn't about the number of relationships you maintain, but the quality of those connections. Honor yourself, protect your peace, and focus your time and energy on people who truly matter. Finally, cherish your relationship with yourself. It's the most important relationship of all. Nurture it, protect it, and let it guide you to a life of happiness, freedom, and fulfillment. What's your experience? Have you dealt with relationships like these? Have you let go, or are you still navigating how to move on? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and follow us for more meaningful content. Wishing you peace, joy, and relationships that truly matter in life.